So if you remember at the beginning of the year, I got to drive Matt Moorman's Shelby GT350, and I was kind of blown away. I was expecting it just to be a fancy Mustang, and it was awesome to drive, mostly because of that engine, but also because of how nice the 6-speed gearbox is, and just the way it's so sorted. It's everything you like about a Mustang, V8 in the front, rear-wheel drive in the back, but without the laziness of a regular Mustang. You know, they've sorted everything in these. The engine is not a lazy V8, it's this flat crank V8 that sounds like a Ferrari, revs to 8,200 RPM. The suspension is incredibly sharp, the brakes are sorted, and even the gearbox is a honey. You know, the clutch is lightweight, the throws are easy. It's a Ford Mustang owner's dream. The only downside, of course, $50,000 or $60,000. But today I'm really interested in having a drag race against my car, because even though this has got almost 100 horsepower more than my car, it's all in the top end, this being a naturally aspirated engine. So I think it's going to be a very interesting drag race, because I'm obviously going to have more power down low. I've got 4-wheel drive. My Porsche is a lighter car, and on paper they're very, very even. So what I think when we have the drag race is that I'm going to take it at first, and then between gears, as he can stay in the gear longer, he's going to get ahead of me. So if you remember the other day, I drove that supercharged GT Mustang, which actually has more power than this, both torque and horsepower. And that's an exciting car to drive, but it doesn't feel anywhere near as sorted as this car. This car puts down its power in a much more predictable way, and it's not so jittery and doesn't feel so lazy in the suspension. This thing is incredibly tight for a Mustang. The GT350 is the Mustang to have, of course. The really only downsides, of course, are the cost. It's very expensive for a Mustang, $50,000 to $60,000. It guzzles gas like a 747. You know, single digits miles per gallon in this car if you're putting your foot down. You know, I've noticed we topped up the car just before we started driving. I've only been driving for a short time. We're already down sort of 1/8 of a tank. And with the extra nose, it does scrape a lot. This is not a car that takes driveways and inclines very well. Even coming onto my driveway, you can see, taking it carefully, it scrapes. But these are minor niggles when you take into account what a phenomenal Mustang this is. I could listen to this soundtrack all day. Okay, so here we go with a quick drag race. I'm pretty confident in this one, actually. Should at least put a good showing in. Okay, off we go. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah, as expected, pretty close. You know, he's got almost 100 horsepower on me in the top end, but because I've got more torque down low, the initial pickup I was right there with him, but once he gets into those higher revs, he's got more revs, he's got more horsepower. You know, he started to creep away. But a pretty good showing from the 911. You know, it's a little lighter, but yeah, for a car that's got almost 100 horsepower more, it's pretty close. Very interesting drag race. So finally, let's have a quick look around the inside. You know, it's a Mustang on the inside, but with a few little special touches. So there isn't a lot of options that you can get with these cars. They come with most of the stuff. There's 2 packages that you can get, the convenience package and the electronics package. You can also get the stripes. And interestingly, there's a lot of great colors you can get this car in. It comes in all manner of bright colors. So thumbs up to Ford for offering bright colors for once. It's nice to see bright colors offered. This particular car has the convenience package, which gives you all the heated seats and so forth, and the electronics package is mostly to do with the navigation, Apple CarPlay, all self-explanatory. The only odd item in the electronics package is soft rollover. What is a soft rollover? So when you tip the car over, it's nice and soft? No, what they're talking about is this part here is called the rollover, and it's a slightly softer material than the hard plastic in some areas. So if you're wondering what electronic component is soft rollover, that's what it is. Otherwise, these are the seats, fairly well bolstered, not as fancy as the seats in Matt Moorman's version of this car. Otherwise, there's not a lot of clues that it's a special car. You get the emblem up here, you get the GT350 on the seats, obviously you get the Cobra here, and you get something on the screen when you start it up. You get the Alcantara wheel with the 12 o'clock insert, and of course when you start it up, you get the head-up display which shows the revs. You know, you're heading towards the red line, you need to change the gears. And of course you get the red writing on the gear stick. But otherwise it's pretty much a Mustang GT on the inside, which I think some people might feel a bit put off, you know, spending 60 grand on a car and it's not really that special on the inside. But really what's special about this car is not, you know, the interior, it's the soundtrack and the way the engine performs. It is a gloriously fun Mustang to drive, unlike any other Mustang I've ever driven. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this look around a GT350 and short drag race, interesting drag race, a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye then.